Hey guys, Kyle here. After consulting with businesses and leaders for the last 10 years or so, I wanted to make this video for you because what I see out there, a lot of people putting in the effort, putting in the time, putting in the hours, and they're not building assets for themselves. So in this video, we're going to talk about the 7 assets of a modern high-performance leader. So many of us have been trained to go out there and make money. Money's everything, and we're spending all our time to get money. Many times we're spending all of our time building assets for our boss, if we're an employee, or even independent contractors out on the web doing digital marketing, professional services, coaches, consultants. They're spending almost all of their time building their clients' assets, and they're not thinking about their own assets. So today we're going to talk about this in detail. Go ahead and grab your notepad. I'm going to be brief, but I'm going to be thorough. So put your phone on silent, put it on airplane mode, and get this knowledge. All right. So the main asset we all have, I'm not even including this in the first 7. The main asset we all have is our time, right? We all have 24 hours in a day. Some of us can build empires with that time. Others of us can barely get the laundry done in that same amount of time, right? So we've all been there. We've all been at different ends of that spectrum, but what makes the difference each day? Is it about effort? Is it about hard work? Is it about the grind? The most successful and happy leaders that I work with, that I study with, and that I've built my own life to be, we would say no. It's not about the hours and the effort, not exclusively. So the first things first, and this almost goes without saying, but I'm going to say it first anyhow, that if you're not turning your time into some form of exercise or building your first asset, which is your health, right? Asset number 1, your health. So are you turning your time into some degree of health, or are you struggling with that? If you want to achieve more, do more, accomplish things, impact more lives, if you're not investing in your own health, then the rest of this is going to fall apart anyhow. So make a commitment to yourself if you've been slacking on this side. Get around people who are already doing it. It's always the best way to make progress in your life. Find the people that are already doing what you want to be doing and model them, work with them, talk to them, right? Same is true for your health. Many people grow up in families where health isn't even on the conversation, right? They're not even talking about it. So if that's where you are, totally understandable. Don't be hard on yourself or others. That doesn't help anybody, right? But turn some of your time into health. You're going to have more energy, more mental clarity, and more stamina to do everything else. All right, so number 2, the next asset nobody really thinks about, we kind of take it for granted, relationships. If you're not turning your time into high quality relationships, then you're not going to succeed in the way that you think you are, because long-term relationships, when you look back over your life, those will be the things that, those will be the assets, if you will, that will open doors for you in ways that you can't even perceive. That's why networking and relationship building is the foundation. Outside of your health, relationship building is asset number 2. All right, number 3, you need to be turning some of your time into knowledge, right? In a great way in today's world we live in, your knowledge can be pretty much about anything, provided you're willing to actually learn about it. Not opinions. Most of the things you see online, most of the things you see people talking about, they're opinions. And that's a big difference, right? Most people don't have firsthand knowledge about things. They're just secondhand opinion. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, everybody's talking about it, but nobody really knows about it. Same with your area of expertise. What is it that you do? What is it that you're passionate about? You can read 3 books on the subject and automatically put yourself ahead of 90% of the people out there, including people in the industry. You know how many people are in certain industries and have never read 3 books about their industry? This isn't difficult. It's about using your strategy and your time correctly, and you'll see yourself surge ahead. It's what I teach people to do all the time. All right, so we've got our relationships, we've got our health, we've got our knowledge. What's next? The next thing that you really need to be thinking about as an expert, a coach, a consultant, a service provider, even if you're an employee, right now, you're building your company's assets, you're building their knowledge base, right? What you want to be doing is turning your relationships and your knowledge into a process. The only way for you to make money, real money in life, is to master your process, whatever that is. It almost doesn't matter what it is. It's kind of ironic, right? There's people making great money on YouTube teaching people how to train their birds, how to train their cats. You name it, whatever it is. If you want to build an expertise, build relationships, and build a process that people can learn from and adapt and use and save time and money with, if you have a process, you've got a really good asset there. Most experts that I talk to, I do a lot of hiring online. I'm on Upwork and freelance job boards all the time, hiring, screening, interviewing for my clients. And a lot of them don't even have a process. You get them on the phone and they say, well, we'll do this, well, we'll kind of do that. Like, I'm looking for somebody who's got a proven process and they've done it and they practiced it. And you're not going to know how to do that right out of the gate. You need some time in the game, right? You learn about it, think about it, read a couple books. You'll start to develop your own unique process that will allow you to position yourself as an expert. And it's a real asset. All right, number 5, this is the thing I see a lot of experts miss out on as well. They're not making enough, or they don't know how to make high quality content. Volume of content, quality content, yeah, you want to be thinking about a few good pieces of content that have your brand on it, that have your knowledge into it, that tell your story. A couple pieces of key content will outperform a blog with 100 articles on it if it's not good strategy, the way you frame your content, the way you build it, will have a big difference in those couple pieces of content working hard for you as opposed to 100-page or 100 blog articles on your website that are just sort of meandering and kind of, life journal kind of thing. A couple pieces of content that you build and use strategically will mean the difference between you going out there as a beggar, I say. You go out to your industry, you do your networking, right? Well, who are you? Well, I kind of want to do this, I kind of do that. No, you spent the time to build a few pieces of key content around your process. And if you do that, it's not difficult. It takes a week or two, not very much time, not 48 hours. It doesn't take dozens of hours. It takes a few hours a week. You can do it in a few weeks, and you're going to surge ahead in your industry. You'll be positioned as an expert, as an authority. So you want to be thinking about, what are my key pieces of content that I can build that talk about my process, that talk about my knowledge, that talk about the relationships I have in my industry, the people I partner with and connect with to do a great job. All right, so the next asset, number 6, think about your customers, right? Your customer list is way more valuable than your social media following. Your social media following, for many people, I got 10,000 followers, 20,000 followers. Well, have you monetized them? Are they turning into paying clients that sustain you as a professional or an expert in your category? And there's a few exceptions to where people gathering millions of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers, people that are very photogenic and out taking pictures of themselves all the time. That's not me. I'm more introverted, and many of you are as well. And that sort of Kim Kardashian model, we'll just use that example, isn't a reality for most people. So I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about you with your social media following, that you have a few hundred, a few thousand people, and you can use that list very powerfully, especially if you have your content right, as we were just saying. But your customer list is the thing that will carry you in your business, in your practice, year to year, decade to decade. And ultimately, that's one of your most sellable assets. When your business is grown and matured, you say, well, I've done this for a while. We've got a good business running. It doesn't have to be, $10 million a year. Even if you're doing a few $100,000 a year, that's a very sellable asset. A lot of experts out there are running the grind and spending all this time, and they're not thinking about how they're building these assets and how they're organizing them. So your customer list is number 6. All right, number 7, this is where most people spend the most time, but everything else that I talked about before this is actually going to feed number 7. So these are all built on one another, but number 7 is recognized property. Somebody says, well, what's property, right? A house, a deed to a house, cash money in your pocket, whatever the case may be, or even cryptocurrency, right? There's an agreement on a blockchain ledger that says, hey, this person has this much money and that's good, and we verified it through the blockchain. That is property that's agreed upon, right? So it's recognized property in any capacity, and you use your expertise and your process and your time to create cash and revenue and other recognized assets. And those things matter, but the money and the other things, the other tangible assets, are usually what you buy as a result of all the other things we just talked about. Somebody says, well, I'd love to have $1 million, and okay, put $1 million in your bank. What would you do with it? Well, you better buy assets with it, right? You better turn that into something that's going to make you more money. Once you spend the money, it's gone. That's only a temporary solution. Now, see anybody who's won the lottery, look at the statistics about who's won the lottery, right? All right, so now you know the 7 assets, what you should be doing with your time, the things you should be investing in terms of, what am I building actually? Am I out there building my boss's company? Am I out there building my clients' assets? But I'm not building assets for myself. So year after year, week after week, you're taking jobs you shouldn't for less money than you want to get paid. You know, that whole thing. You got to get out of that rut. And this is exactly how you do that. So this is the first video in this 2-part series. The next one, we're going to talk about how to automate your sales as a leader. So I don't care if you're a coach, a consultant, even if you're an author, even if you're a musician, we're all making content, telling stories, sharing our expertise, helping others with our processes. Guys, digital economics has evaporated the difference between, oh, I sell a physical good, I sell a digital good, I'm in this industry or that industry. I've been marketing and selling online for almost 20 years now. Between my partner and I, we have $30 million in results for our clients. Now, I was like you, when I got started, that I was building a bunch of people's assets, making good money for my clients, but I never knew how to contract that back to where I could get paid well. So, you know, there's a right way to do this and a wrong way to do this. And the next step is, once you have your process, once you have your knowledge, you have a good network, you want to build some content and build some processes that will get you paid well above any dollars per hour rate that you could ever earn. Your dollars per hour always has a ceiling. So to become an automated leader that has an automated selling process, between Facebook ads, between an automated lead generation system, there's a process to this. And what I see out on Facebook, I see everybody out there showing their expertise. Look at me, I'm a coach. Look at me, I'm a consultant. Look at my results. But they don't have a way to take people from becoming a cold lead or cold traffic into an automated way that warms them up, builds loyalty, builds affinity, and gets somebody onto a quality phone conversation. There's all kind of people promising, I'll get you 100 leads a week, 100 phone calls a week. Well, you're going to bury yourself in phone time. The people you get on the phone aren't going to be loyal or have any affinity to doing business with you. So you're going to have a hard time. You're going to be trying to do high pressure sales, cold calling, all that stuff. You don't have to do any of that these days. So the next step is the next video. I'm not even going to ask for your email address. 4 steps to becoming an automated leader. This is what I help my clients do on a daily basis. I want you to check this out, and I think you'll be excited to see where this is going. All right, I'll see you in the next video.